The Power Pod is an exclusive WSB radio production.
Have y'all ever cheated on anybody before?
Randi O. Hey, guys. I actually have never cheated, and I'm proud of myself. Now, we were on a break. We weren't together, so that doesn't even count.
I think you're highlighting something there. There are some blurred lines.
No,
but there was not a blurred line.
What?
No blurred line.
No, when it comes to...
The blurred line.
This is The Power Pod with Randi Okray, Christina Aicklen, Nicole Bennett, and your host, WSB's Jared Yamamoto.
Yeah, that's right. You're listening to The Power Pod. I am Jared Yamamoto, your host, as you heard the great voice guy just saying. I love that voice. That thing is fantastic. It's always nice to have a booming voice to bring you in like that. I mean, the pressure is on. First episode like that, and I have a voice like that bringing me in? So much pressure. In case you didn't know and you're just subscribing to this channel for the first time, I'm Jared Yamamoto from the Von Hessler Doctrine on WSB Radio in Atlanta. You can hear me from 9 to noon every single day, and I'm so excited that I got a chance. They actually gave me a chance to do my own show here. This is pretty cool. This is called The Power Pod. I'm not alone. I'm joined by the great Randi Okray. Randi is what also works here at WSB, but why would you want to hear me describe her? She's right here.
Thank you, Jared. Well, it's actually Randi O for short, okay? Yes, I went ahead and joined.
Yes, ma'am.
I joined the Power Pod, of course, with Jared because it was a good opportunity. It's a chance for us millennials to do our own thing and show the world that we're doing what? Taking over. Okay, a little bit about myself. Randi O from Dallas, Texas. That's right. Cowboy Nation. Mm-hmm.
Texas bread over there, huh?
Texas bread.
Or can I call you Texas toast?
Not too much. Okay. But anyway, I moved to Atlanta because I will just be honest with you guys. Being a woman of color, I felt that Atlanta was a better market for me. So hence, here I am. So yeah, guys, you can catch me. And I do a podcast as well called Black, Educated, and Broke. You can listen it to all streaming devices because, we're cultured and we're going to keep you in the know.
Well,
That's all I got.
and here at WSB in Atlanta, I mean, it's just astounding how many studios that we have. I mean, every single show has got its own studio, plus every single podcast, too. And right now, Randi's Black, Broke, and Educated podcast.
Black, Educated, and Broke.
Black, Educated, and Broke podcast. Excuse me.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry.
They have the nicest room at the moment. I am vying for that room. I know this is like a personal quarrel between you and I, but we got to figure this out because I want that room really bad. Okay, so hopefully we can bring the Power Pod up to the top. But I also have two other ladies that are joining the Power Pod crew. You heard them giggling there in the background. The first one you heard there was that was Christina Aicklen over there. But let's go to Nicole Bennett for a second. Nicole,
hello,
Nicole. Welcome to the Power Pod. This is awesome. I'm so glad you decided to join this with me.
So excited. Raised in Georgia. I went to UGA. I always knew I wanted to be a journalist, but I know we've talked about this. Some of what we do day to day is a little dry, a little objective, rightfully so. So I'm excited to delve into a story a little more, be a little biased and opinionated maybe. Not offend anybody, but because, like she said, millennials are taking over, I guess.
Yes.
That's right.
That's great. I love that.
There we go. And I see she's champing at the bit. That's Christina Aicklen over there. Christina, thanks for joining the Power Pod. I mean, I'm so glad that you got a chance to do this.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I graduated from the lovely University of Tennessee. I'm from Atlanta originally, so love to stay in my city. I work for a retail brand here in Atlanta, but I miss radio. It was my first job out of school, and I'm just happy you guys are taking me back. I mean, this is so fun.
Well, the Power Pod is a new kind of show. So this is, again, a millennial perspective on current events of the week. We will get political. I'm not afraid to say we're going to get political sometimes. We're going to talk about sports, and we're going to talk about some really weird stuff and things that affect us. Another thing, too, we're in Atlanta. Some of the things that we're going to talk about are Atlanta-based. I know some podcasters are out there like, blah, 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 like I only want to hear national things. Well, that's too bad. Sometimes you have to relate with your city a little bit. We live in a great city, and we all love Atlanta. Do we love Atlanta?
Well, I do love Atlanta.
Right, there we go. So we love Atlanta, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. In fact, taking a deeper dive into some of the stuff that's local, Governor Brian Kemp here in Georgia signed into law this new bill that will grow and sell medical marijuana here in Georgia. But to break it down further, this new law creates a new but limited marijuana industry in Georgia with up to 9 acres of indoor growing space for the cultivation of medical marijuana oil. Then that oil will be sold to the state's growing number of medical marijuana users.
Hello.
See, I know y'all are excited about this, but how many of y'all actually expected this to happen? Like, I mean, the Georgia that I grew up in. I know that Christina grew up in Georgia. Nicole spent the majority of her life here. And Randy, you're from Texas, so I'm sure it's very similar to how it is here in Georgia. But if you would have told me that at 30 years old, we'd be selling medical marijuana oil here in Georgia, I would say I would have laughed at you. It wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I totally agree because, I mean, as we know, Georgia's a red state, and so we definitely did not expect that. But, maybe now with this new legalization, we won't have so many angry-ass drivers. Yeah, maybe everybody be cool and mellow now. Salute, Kemp.
Especially on a rainy day.
Heller.
Please, let's give them some nice stuff on a rainy day, or traffic will be 4 hours long like it normally is for me. So that would be great.
Well, wasn't it that it was technically something that people could already get, but what was the loophole that he basically is legalized
Okay, so
now?
what originally passed last year was you could buy the oil.
Right.
That's what I thought.
But you couldn't. There was no dispensary in Georgia, so you had to bring it over state lines illegally.
Yeah,
right.
Which is
So let's
just
fix that.
ridiculous. I mean, there are children with epilepsy
It really works for them.
and other terms of illnesses where you need this kind of you need the CBD oil, you need marijuana to help with the recovery process and that. And it's an important thing to have. It's an important thing for our state to make that step, because I mean, look at the trends. I'm sorry, Georgia on a lot of things. Georgia's a great place to live. It's a great state, but there are a lot of trends that we're a little behind on, and we've got to keep up with our friends if we're going to stay economically competitive.
Did they purposely do it right before 420, or was that?
I was just going to say that. Oh my gosh, yes.
Such a good point.
I was just going to say that.
TT.
Maybe
Just bring
Brian
it
Kemp
up.
is trying to tell us something. I don't know.
I can see. Never
He
mind.
definitely he may have indulged in a couple of howdy.
He
Okay?
does have that deep voice.
Oh, Jared,
I
whoa.
totally see that.
That's pretty good.
So either way, great news for Georgia. Maybe we'll see some more progression over the next couple of years. But Randy, what you got over there? What's going on in your
Alrighty,
queue?
so with my story, guys, okay, this is something about controversial food opinions, and I want to know, do you guys agree or disagree about different foods and which one you go for, okay?
Okay.
So, which tastes better? Is it the regular size M&Ms or is it the mini M&Ms?
I'm very adamant on
Ladies
this
first.
one.
Ladies first. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go regular. That is like, because the minis, like, they melt too fast.
Yes.
Like, that's gonna be a whole disaster. I'm gonna need like a Clorox wipe for that. Like,
Regular.
that's like, let's go regular.
See me, it's only regular if it's nuts in it. If it does not have nuts, you better give me those minis.
Oh.
Have you tried the pretzel ones?
aren't they
are
so
good.
good?
Oh, they're so
you are
good.
not playing by Randy's rules.
I'm
now.
sorry. I got excited.
He's over here just throwing other ideas out there like that. But Nicole has not answered the question.
She
though.
did.
I said
She said
regular.
regular.
Okay.
Regular. We
All
all
right.
agree.
So Randy, what's your vote?
I want to do minis if it don't have nuts in it.
Mini. Regular. What you got over there around the room?
Regular.
Regular. I'm a regular. Regular wins. What's next?
Next, we have which tastes better, regular mac and cheese or mac and cheese shakes.
Oh.
Nicole.
This shouldn't even be difficult, ladies.
Nicole, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to say regular again. I love classic mac and cheese.
Classic girl. What can you say?
Classic
Sharp
girl.
cheddar, Kraft mac and cheese.
White cheddar.
White Vermont white cheddar mac and cheese from
Vermont.
Panera is so good.
All right, y'all are making
so
me
good.
hungry. I'm gonna go shapes, baby. I want the ABCs or the Star Wars characters.
I'm 100% with you on the shapes. I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
Oh my
it's-
God. How old are you, like 4?
So wait,
Wait, they make Star
I have a
Wars?
baby.
I have a kid. Wait,
Nicole?
I didn't know they made Star Wars mac and cheese. That may
do.
change
That
the
is
game.
too
is
much
that a
energy.
game changer?
That may
How do you
be.
feel about eating Darth Vader in a pasta form? It's just kind of weird.
All right, Randy, what's next?
Which tastes better, guys? Is it the regular Gatorade or the Gatorade in the long bottle?
With the little
Because they clearly taste different. I personally like the long bottle because I can just squeeze it and go.
I was going to say the same thing.
You like the
for,
long bottle?
for travel purposes.
I'm gonna go regular. I'm gonna go traditional, babes. It's all about the regular bottle.
They taste the same. No answer on this one.
No squeeze and go?
I'm the hostess. I'm not going to answer it. Next one. What's the next
Right,
one?
there you have it. Now, this is real because it does not taste the same. The regular Reese's or the Reese's shaped like eggs or trees?
Eggs or trees.
Oh my God,
love
right?
Different consistency, ratio of peanut butter to chocolate. Hands down,
man.
Nicole?
Y'all are
Hands down. So much better.
TT over there looking
I'm
suspicious.
gonna say neither, and you don't want to know the backstory. You don't want to know.
Somebody made you eat peanut butter. You didn't want to eat it.
No, as a 12-year-old woman back in the day, I got sick off Reese's. I don't do any of
that'll
it
do
anymore.
it.
I don't do it anymore. I even thinking about it.
You know, you're saying the name wrong. It's
Reese's.
Reese's.
Oh
Reese's.
my God, he gets on to me all the time.
Yeah.
Reese's,
Reese's, yeah.
like a dog barking. Reese's,
Reese's,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Oh, it's the regular Reese's. Hands down, y'all are completely wrong if you pick that the egg choice.
Why are you a hater?
Because he's wrong and he's in denial.
I know you
It's okay.
guys just don't have any good taste buds. That's what it is. You guys like the extra sweet stuff like that. No, you go with the traditional Reese's.
Oh.
That's the answer. What's next, Rand?
You know what? I'm just trying to keep it together.
little triggered right now.
Yeah.
So which tastes better, cereal in the morning or cereal at night?
Oh my God.
Right? OMG. You know, hey, when 420 passes, you give me some at night.
That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna say morning because I have cereal in the morning, but I will definitely take it at night too.
Definitely at night.
I'm gonna
Hands
say
down.
at night too.
Hands down.
Hey, I'm alone.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. I prefer it in the morning.
Okay, we're split on that one. All right, what's next?
Alrighty, my favorite cookies. Which tastes better? Stop trying to sneak, Nicole. Is it regular Oreos or colored Oreos?
Ooh.
It really should have said double
Stuff. I was gonna say double stuff.
Yeah, double stuff,
Hands
jam.
down.
Unanimous. Next.
Alrighty, which
Oh,
tastes
wow.
better? Moving on. Mexican food in to-go boxes or Mexican food on a regular plate? I say the plate because the place is already heated up.
I say the plate too.
Absolutely.
plate.
Plate. Unanimous. Look at that.
Look at
That's
that.
easy.
Let's do one more.
Regular chicken nuggets or dinosaur nuggets?
Oh.
Like
Are
regular, we're
there
talking like
Star Wars
McDonald's, like
chicken nuggets?
McDonald's nuggets, or like the frozen. Like, do they even
Okay, Miss
specify?
Specific TT. Okay, it does not say that. It just says regular chicken nuggets. But the
We're trying to
picture,
break all the rules of the Power
I'm
Pod.
sorry.
but the
I'm
picture
just,
looks like McDonald's. Just to be
okay.
clear.
Just Okay, well then I might go with the McDonald's around there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say regular.
No, I'm going dinosaur, hands down.
What
That
are
is
you,
like for little
5?
kids.
Yeah.
Unless they have Star Wars
Oh
shaped
my
chicken
God.
nuggets.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
we're still at least a month away from May the 4th. Relax over
May
there,
the
okay?
4th.
Okay,
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
Jared's already counting down for May the 4th.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I saw that new Star Wars trailer that dropped this week. It looks great.
Amazing.
Yeah, it looks good. But I'm I have my reservations about it. It's a little strange to watch Rey jumping over Kylo Ren's TIE fighter. And I know that you guys are like, look, Randy's like, what?
I don't watch that.
Yeah, I don't watch.
Randy's
I
like,
got your back. I got
Well,
you.
Did you ever have a child? And how did you not watch Star Wars
What
as
do
a
you
kid?
mean? This is like not, no. Next.
Thank you next. She just thank you next.
Come on, I know Christina and Nicole have got my back about
Okay,
this.
I
about this
absolutely have your back.
Yeah,
It was a
I
great
do have
trailer.
a soft spot for
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars,
Han
lightsaber
Solo?
action. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, Han Solo's not going to be in this one, so we're talking
Oh, that's
specifically
true.
about
I do
the
see you.
trailer that dropped earlier this week, where Rey jumps over
Solo wasn't in
Kylo.
the
Yes, he's not in this. Hey, I'm getting my cue from our producer Georgie Pugh that we got to take a break.
Georgie Pugh.
So,
I love Georgie Pugh.
so when we come back, more of this nonsense when we return.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. Join the show at 800 WSB Talk or leave a comment using the open mic feature on the WSB Radio app.
Man, during the break here, this is great. This is why I usually work with men all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. Autumn is an exception on the Von Hessler doctrine. But she's up in Maryland, so I'm working with Tim Andrews and Eric Von Hessler all the time. And I just heard for the first time ever a potluck actually being brought to when we do the show here when we do our Power Pod episode.
What's
so I
wrong
think
with that?
I think it's a great
Actually,
idea. I
Nicole
love that.
has a better name.
Or a podluck.
Yes, I love it. This is perfect. Okay.
Very good.
All right, you're on the spot for next week's episode of the Power Pod.
All right.
And I'll bring chips. How about that? I'm more of the chip kind of guy.
Jared,
I'm not a very good cook. I can make eggs, and I can make those dinosaur chicken nuggets that we were just talking about. That's about it. I'm not,
Freezer.
I'm just not a very good cook, but I like this. For our second episode, we'll be able to munch on the air, and we can let all those people out there listen to us chew it all up. And doesn't that sound great?
You
that's
what
a real
everybody
thing.
loves.
You know, there's like videos on Instagram where you watch people eat and you hear them making the sound effects. It is called something, but that is a real.
I think it's ASMR, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like to. What do
Do
you
you
crab
follow
legs? I
the
watch
trends
it.
on Instagram?
I do.
That's fascinating. Okay,
I do
yes.
actually.
Wow, I'm writing that down. I don't know why I said that way.
Oh, wow.
I'm so
Relax.
sorry.
Relax
Love
over there.
Nikki, baby.
I'm writing that down.
All right, Nicole, what you got for me? Get us out of this.
Oh man, this is such a terrible segue. I was going to talk about, on a more somber note, there was a young girl that was found. Her name is Sol Pais. 18 years old. She reportedly was infatuated. That was the quote that I saw, with the Columbine shooting, which we all know took place about 20 years ago. 20th anniversary is coming up on Saturday. And so that's why I think police were more concerned, because they figured that it would maybe trigger something, which in essence it did. We don't know a lot still, but she did fly from Miami to Colorado on Monday, reportedly bought ammunition as soon as she got to Colorado, prompted this manhunt. A lot of school districts closed just out of precaution. She was found dead.
Apparent suicide.
Apparent suicide, yes. So that's the gist of it.
I have trouble. Obviously, we're all rational thinkers here. We're not. You can't sit here and try to justify what mental illness is. But this story just has so many layers to it and so many unanswered questions that I sit here and I'm trying to process this. I mean, 18 years old and you're obsessed with a school shooting,
which technically, if you think about it, would have taken place before she was born,
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying deters someone. I mean, I've researched a lot of crimes that have happened that took place before I was born, but.
Yeah.
It begs the question, was there something wrong? Her dad is actually quoted in the Miami Herald as saying, quote, maybe she's got a mental problem, which also could highlight an issue at home that clearly he maybe did not care.
Right.
I don't know. I'm assuming a lot.
The
but
positioning to this point, I just feel like there's a lot of unanswered questions. And luckily, over the next couple of days, hopefully we can get more of this girl's story, because it came out of nowhere. I mean, in a news week where so much stuff broke, this story really came out of nowhere. And then for them to find the body on Wednesday like that,
absolutely,
it's just it's just unbelievable. It's astonishing to me.
Yes.
But listen, we got to take a little break. Georgie Pooh's telling me we got to take another break, so we're going to take a break right here on the Power Pod. We'll be right back with more.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. From Atlanta to beyond, it's the Power Pod.
You guys got to stop hounding me on the breaks like that, okay? Listen, I had to get some water, all right? I had to get some water.
You are belching like a man, and this is ladies in here. Thank you.
Listen, hey, who's the host of the show?
Manners,
that's to be determined.
I am going for that podcast studio. I am going for your podcast studio.
That's amazing.
Listen, the Power Pod is taking over one studio at a time here at WSB Radio in Atlanta, Georgia. And one of the great things about doing a weekly recap show is that we get to go to all the fun shows. I know this weekend that Christina and I are going to go to the Sweetwater 420 Festival.
Yes, we are.
Right after we announced earlier in the show that Brian Kemp, legalized medical marijuana. So I'm sure that at Sweetwater 420 Festival, some people will be really excited about that. Not like there's much control over that kind of stuff at that kind of place. But you were telling me during the break about this burger or something like that that's also coming out on 420, which, by the way, the most cliche holiday possible. Like everyone's like, oh, I gotta go and smoke it up while on 420. Give me a break. Like if you're someone that actually goes out and smokes weed, you're gonna do it all the damn time. You're not gonna just pick 420 to pick your date.
Actually,
like that.
That's debatable, because if you are a smoker, because I don't know who is, because I'm not about that life. But anyway, if you are about the
I know, I was gonna say
on that
smoke
actual
cigarettes.
day, though, no, like these people, from what I hear, they indulge to the next level. Like it's wake and bake, baby, all day.
Next level.
But why would you? But why would you do that? It's
Why?
It seems like that would be the biggest day to get caught. Because people are going to be looking for that.
That's a good point.
Now,
True.
in a festival environment, I think most security and most people at the 420 festival know that that's going on. It's in the name, and people are not stupid. They know the connotation behind it. But if you're going to pick one day out of the year to partake in that kind of activity like that, why not pick, I don't know, Sunday, March 18th or something like that instead? That way you're not That way you don't have to deal with the consequences of being caught because people are looking for that.
But I think they don't, though. I think actually it's probably it's kind of known. So I really don't think cops and police are not as, okay, I'm going to give them a little pass. Just stay in your lane when you're driving. Don't kill nobody. I really think it's a little bit more accepted on that day, personally. My friends haven't got caught.
It's like every other
Until now.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought
Busted.
Randy, you would surround yourself with people that would do something like that?
So you had a burger or something you were talking about, Christina?
Actually, I would love to tell you guys about this burger.
Yeah, tell me about this. You were bringing this up again. We were talking during the break. What's going on?
Well, yeah. So Carl's Jr., as you guys know, the fast food restaurant owned by Hardee's, is launching a one-day trial of a CBD burger. They're trying to get on this trend of this CBD oil frenzy. They're like, why not add it to a burger? So the sauce is infused with that CBD oil. And they're doing a one-day trial of it, and I think it's really going to take off. Personally, I mean that's going to be great.
You like the idea?
I mean, yeah, why not sauce it up a little? Why not change it up with your fast food options?
You said it's in Colorado, right?
In Colorado, yep. So in Denver, they're doing a local Carl's Jr. that's obviously doing very well for them already, and they're gonna launch this new burger.
I wonder how much it's going to cost.
Now,
I know. That's what I know.
I think Nicole is secretly wishing that Hardee's here in Atlanta had that burger. I see it. She's looking around like, I want that.
I have no idea what we're talking about, actually. It's crazy.
All right, Christine, what do you have over there?
So they're just getting more into the article. About the burger, they're really kind of being careful on the regulation hasn't really been set, obviously, on CBD. So that's why they're doing this one-day trial. But another story I want to talk about was the Notre Dame story. So as you guys heard, a lot was happening in Paris. The fire of the Notre Dame was heartbreaking, and they actually were able to get a couple of the items that were
the
artifacts saved. So they had one of the tunics, St. Louis tunic, was obviously saved from the fire damage, and obviously St. Louis was one of the kings of France back.
Over $1 billion have already been raised to
Yes.
fix.
Yeah.
Fix that.
They said 5 years.
They say that the power of humanity is dying like that. I mean, that's just a great sign to see that people care about this. And obviously, Notre Dame will never be the same. You can never rebuild what it was, but there are some positives to take away. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people are like, it's an awful thing, but nobody died. Nobody got hurt.
Right.
The main spires in the front are in decent condition, and believe it or not, the inside of the building looks like, for the most part, that they'll be able to refurbish it. There was a really cool story that I saw earlier this week too that said that they might have robots build it next time. So I wonder how that will be written about in the history books. And first humanity built it 850 years ago, and then robots built it after that.
Really, that's
amazing.
I
I know they're going to get the best
Apple.
Regardless, they're going to have the best architects.
But I thought it was also cool that one of the things that didn't burn was the cross.
Oh, I know.
Oh, that was a beautiful sight. If you haven't had a chance to see this yet, you just have to Google this. I mean, it's just an incredible sight. The cross inside the Notre Dame Cathedral, just Google that and look at, I mean, it's almost eerie, how it illuminates that entire room. And it just makes you think that perhaps somebody was looking out for that.
Well, the crown of thorns, that was the other object I was remembering that was saved by the firefighters, and I can't imagine going in there and being in that space, that holy space, and it's just wild. And I'm really thinking of Paris right now.
If you have a chance to, CNN posted some photos on Twitter today that were aerial shots.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, to see that view and that perspective at the damage, it's really incredible that they were able to salvage anything,
The good news again, French President Emmanuel Macron
came
out and he said, hey, you took French. You're the one that told me you took French.
I was a little scared to say all the French.
So Macron.
Is my French teacher listening?
Yeah, Macron. And he said that they're going to rebuild it in 5 years. I don't think 5 years is.
I don't know about
they don't need to rush this. This needs to be done right, and we need to build it better than it was before. And hopefully the Parisians over there will nothing else bad happens in the time being. But I have got a story for y'all here. This is something I just found. This is this is something that producer
Georgie
Pooh and I were looking at. Scientists have revealed that women can judge whether a man is likely to be unfaithful just by looking at his face, but men are less able to spot a cheating woman. So basically, the gist of the story is that women are better at hiding infidelity. And George and I were talking before we started doing this. He said absolutely they're better at doing this, and I know I'm fighting against 3 women here, so this is going to be a tough one for me. But I agree. I think that y'all are sneaky. Y'all are absolutely sneaky.
I thought the article though was about the man. You said, and women being able to see the man's face and know that he's a cheater. I don't know how you kind of switch that to be about women being better cheaters.
Do they
That's
talk
what the article was about really?
What facial features?
Yeah.
Right, let's get to that part.
Yeah, well, let's focus on that right facial now. expression.
I see you guys are trying to disguise yourselves.
I don't
Don't
like this.
question the great researchers at the University of Western Australia, okay? That is a great place, all right? If you haven't been there before, fantastic. But I can't believe, though, that, this is, so you guys are being rather neutral. It sounds like you guys have personal stories about this.
I
where
feel that men are it was a comedian that said, men don't cheat. Like, that's just not the law. Okay, but I feel like as far as being able to look at a person and know that they're a cheater, okay, I don't know. But as far as women being whatever, you think we're better cheaters, I just think that,
I didn't say it. The researchers did.
Did I say Jerry Yamamoto?
You were pointing at me when you're doing that.
Jerry Yamamoto. Okay, I think, women, I just think, because, we know how to just, hone a lot of things in, because, men are very impulsive, ready to, and we're like, oh, that's how you're going to play? We're very strategic.
Yes.
So I think because we're strategic and smarter, I think it just comes off like we're better cheaters.
Well, I think men compartmentalize
Yes.
better than women.
Yes.
And I would think that they're more impulsive. Women are a little more calculated, planned. Maybe it's a nicer way to put it. Not sneaky or passive aggressive, but just calculated.
I see Tina over there. Like she's got
I'm looking right at you.
Yeah, okay.
We don't need
I'm
a
letting
lot
y'all
of...
go first. I'm a gentleman from the South here. It's okay. Listen, y'all go first.
You don't have to remind us.
Yeah, listen, TT, Southern Hospitality 101. I think women are really... One, we're really smart, okay, so give us that credit.
Second.
2, we don't need a lot of time to think through things, and we're, like Randy said, strategic. So we can read right through you.
So it sounds like so with all this strategy and all this manipulation, since you guys are so much smarter than us, then I think it proves what these researchers at the University of Western Australia are trying to prove right there. You guys are more manipulative, therefore you're more likely to cheat.
I didn't hear the word manipulative, but go ahead.
Or we're better at poker. We have better poker faces.
Yeah, there we go.
That is so true.
Have y'all ever cheated on anybody before?
Randy O. Hey guys. I actually have never cheated, and I'm proud of myself. Now, we were on a break. We weren't together, so that doesn't even count. But no, I have not, because honestly, I believe in karma.
The classic friends argument.
I believe in karma. It'll come right back to you, so I don't play those type of games.
Yeah,
I have never cheated. Never.
You can be honest. Listen,
I'm fiercely loyal.
This is your place. This is your safe place. So just pretend like there's nobody else out there, Nicole. It's just just the 4 of us all talking about.
I've never cheated on anyone.
Okay.
And that goes for work relationships too. I will never cheat on you guys.
What you mean work? What you mean, like you wouldn't get on another podcast?
No.
Yeah,
Yes, okay. I'm a one podcast kind of girl.
Y'all should see her face on her facial expression. They're
so cute.
I'm really, thank you. I'm going to say thank you. Yes.
You're so cute.
All right, Christina. All right, well, what about you?
Jared, I have never cheated. I think it is so wrong to
Not even a kiss?
not even a kiss.
Oh heck no!
Now, okay, back in college, I was on a break.
Right.
Oh, the truth.
And there was a formal I attended.
See?
And there was a kiss on the dance floor.
I think you're highlighting something there. There are some blurred lines.
No,
but there
it
was
was a
not a
break.
blurred line.
When,
No blurred line.
No, when it comes to
the blurred line. I know you want me.
Listen,
I know you want
when it comes to when it comes to women's understanding of cheating versus a man's understanding of cheating, maybe people are not on the same page all the time. Women are like, we're just friends, and then you guys go and you kiss a couple other guys. And
Jared, I would like to ask you the same question that you're asking us.
I have never cheated. I've never cheated before. I think it's a lot easier just to break up with somebody, but maybe
Yeah,
that's coming
that's-
from
That's
a,
refreshing to hear.
Thank you. That is refreshing.
but maybe coming from a male perspective, though, that was just something that we as a guy, you're kind of taught. You're like, hey, like I had great folks that explained to me that it's very important to just say, hey, like, be honest with someone, be upfront. And, if you're not feeling somebody, then you need to just go on and end it. There's plenty of people out there, especially in Atlanta. Ladies, I apologize that, it's 65, I think 65-35 women to men here in this city.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don't we know it?
and listen, you guys, I'm not saying there's not great guys out there.
They're hard to find, Jared. They're hard to find.
But I think that as a man, I found it, especially post-college, I found it very, very easy to have some fun around town, town in Atlanta.
There's tons of fun.
I found that instead of playing the games and being manipulative, it was so much easier just to be up front and say, hey, like, you know what? Like, you're great. I think we're better off being friends. And yeah, you're going to deal with some emotion. Who's not going to give you emotion, whether it's the male or female doing that? But better to be up front than not. Georgie, I know. I'm going to go to break. Here. I want to finish this point. So manipulation stands on both points. Don't do it. Don't manipulate. Just be honest. Be upfront with people. And we'll be right back.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. Join the show at 800 WSB Talk or leave a comment using the open mic feature on the WSB Radio app.
You know, it's refreshing to hear that we don't like to manipulate each other here on the Power Pod. Our first episode, we learned something about each other. We all want to be direct and honest. We're going to have our
Podluck.
A Podluck next week. This is great. I mean, we're growing here. Like,
know.
we haven't even made it an hour through the show yet, and we're already talking about this. This is wonderful news. And for our first episode, I need to thank our friends Melissa, Debbie, and Judith over at Ford for they brought us cookies.
I know.
It's
They're
freaking
beautiful.
awesome. They are absolutely
so
beautiful.
Nice.
Thank
you so much.
They're celebrating the 55th anniversary of the Mustang. So
Oh my God.
that's pretty cool. Check them out if you get a chance to do it. But they that's these cookies are really good. So I'm excited to break into them. I know y'all have gotten into them first because y'all,
I know we love cookies.
You guys love
cookies.
You guys like all
because
the
we're
sweets.
sweet and you're okay.
Oh, I see how it is. Now it's time for a Power Pod first, though. It's called the Rundown with Randy, and we're gonna yeah. So we're going to. These are some of the stories that we missed that are huge that we can't just end the podcast without covering these. So we have to get these in. So Randy, hurry up, bring them to me.
Alrighty, so guys, Tiger Woods. Hey, Tiger.
Hi, Tiger.
He makes a remarkable return with his 5th Masters win.
Many doubted we'd ever see it. But here it is. The return to glory.
Cried like a baby when that happened.
Yeah,
It was-
2005, right?
It was an emotional moment. So good for Tiger. Happy for them. Good moment. What's next? What else we
Yes,
missed?
also the Avengers, our Avengers fans.
Yeah, coming out next Thursday.
Yeah, the end game. There's some leaked footage, guys.
Uh-oh.
Really, guys? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like we know what's going to happen. Oh, come on now, like it's a superhero movie. We've seen 100 of these. 100. They come. One of these comes out every month. Don't be shocked.
Every month.
It's okay. It's not going to be that great.
You
what
know
what
people
else
are
is
gonna
in the
be
queue
watching
there,
it.
Randy? What else is over there?
Yes, our boy Robert Kraft.
Ugh.
So guys, I know.
On
Listen,
so
the-
many levels.
The naked spa video to be released.
Oh my God. Girls' night. Let's go watch it.
I don't want to see
I'm just
Robert
kidding.
Kraft.
Ew, never mind.
Hey, listen, he owns the New England Patriots. He would take care of y'all. You know.
Just his money, but not underneath those trousers. Okay,
Go again. What's next?
also, what we have is a college student on a trip to the Ozarks. Unfortunately, fell 100 feet to her death while posing a photo.
Listen, people need to be careful with these selfies. There's drones for that, and this is a real problem. I think there's been over 60 deaths in the Grand Canyon over the last 2 years.
But Jared, this is a really big tourist spot. Like they have little designated spots for photos.
I know, but people need
Poor
to be...
girl was just taking a group pic.
People need to be careful. What's next?
Yes, man. Y'all, wait a minute. This story is crazy. A man sues his parents for destroying his $29,000 what collection?
He's my hero.
Porn.
Oh my God.
I would too. Hey, that's a lot of
That's
money
a lot of
that
money.
he had invested in there. And let's all be honest, we all watch a little
I
bit
thought
of
it was free.
of the adult stuff. Oh, most of it is,
Oh,
but
my
$29,000.
yeah, it's a lot of money.
Wow.
But hey, I'm getting the cue that we are out of time here. But you know what? We're going to end every show like we just did in our first preview. If you hadn't had a chance to listen to that, you got to subscribe to our Power Pod feed. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, you name it. We're out there. Subscribe to us now. Here we go. Let's all put our hands in. All right, ready? Power Pod on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Power Pod!
We'll see you next